PowerBoat Television is brought to you by Yamaha. Conquer water with Yamaha. Cruisers Yachts. Luxury yachts and bow riders for all your adventures. And BoatBuys.com. 60,000 new and used boats for sale.
Bonjour et bienvenue à Québec. Aujourd'hui, nous explorons le fleuve Saint-Laurent et la ville de Québec. What? Oh, sorry. Had the mic set to French. Hi, and welcome to Quebec City. Today we're going to be exploring the St. Lawrence River and the beautiful and historic city of Quebec that you can see behind me. And actually, just in front of it, you can see this beautiful and historic blue and white Bertram. That's what we're going to be exploring it on. And if this looks familiar to you, it's because it was on the show a couple seasons ago when we were exploring Bredor Lake. And it's here because the owners of this boat are now the owners of Neptune Marine, based right here in the marina. So we're gonna head into the store, find them, and find out where we're going today. Patrick.
Hey, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. So, beautiful day.
Beautiful day, yes.
Yeah, thanks for arranging that, first of all. Nailed it.
Yeah, great.
So where are we going? How far are you thinking?
We'll start from the old port of Quebec Marina, and we'll go up the river to Marina of Lévis. We'll go towards the Quebec Bridge, and we'll do the Rivière Chaudière, and we'll turn around under the bridge and stop by the
Yacht Club.
Yep, Yacht Club, and then we'll keep going, and then we'll see the old Quebec City.
This is the beauty shot, right? This is what you only see on postcards or from boats right here.
Exactly, right from the water, you can definitely see stuff that you don't see from land, and at night it's beautiful too. Hopefully we can arrange a little night cruise and check it out at night.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Pont de Quebec, that's the historic one, right? Like
Yeah.
100 and something years.
Right.
Hey, Jose.
How are you?
Patrick and his fiancée Jose only just moved to Quebec a few months before and have spent almost every waking hour renovating and updating the store. No, they didn't pay me to say that, but this is pretty sweet. I was impressed, and I've been to a lot of marine supply stores. Still, in the height of summer, they were our gracious and willing hosts.
So you guys have been working nonstop.
Yeah.
Are you able to take a day off? It's like forced vacation. So we're not in the way, we're helping out here.
Helping, taking a little bit of time off and enjoying the beautiful day, yeah.
Perfect.
We're going with you guys for sure.
Nice, okay. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's head out.
With the sun beating down on a perfect July day, we left the marina and cruised past the gigantic blue tugboats that are based here. To get the running shots of the boat, Patrick and Jose talked to some marina friends and arranged a camera boat for us, this 40-foot Sea Ray. It's hard to say which would be more popular, the newer Sea Ray with the modern design, or the refitted Bertram with the older layout but that classic look. Either way, it's cool to be a part of such a sweet flotilla. Onward, Quebec Navy! And out into the St. Lawrence River to find a cruise ship making its home for the day in the shadows of the old city. A cool feature about boating here is every time you leave the marina, you get the ultimate view, the iconic image of the Chateau Frontenac.
Have you ever been this far down the river?
We came in last week, went
As
straight
far
in
as
the
the
marina,
marina?
and I haven't been here yet, so it's all new.
As we followed the river southwest, I discovered our TV shoot really was helpful in forcing them to get out of the store and explore. The run we did was short, but there's so much to see here, and a fascinating history from the Citadel and Old City right up to these bridges.
So just in front of us, we're coming up to two sets of bridges. The one closest to us, the big steel bridge, that's the Pont de Quebec, or Quebec Bridge. Now, it has a tragic place in history because as they were building it, it collapsed twice, killing 88 people. And it took 30 years to finally get it done. And it opened in 1919. Now, it remains a little bit controversial to this day, not as tragically, though. For about 25 years, there's been a debate over whether or not it should be painted and who's going to pay for it. And as we'll see, it has not been painted. When you go under the bridges and it's the most narrow, you know, that current and the tides really fight the boats a little bit. But it's not too bad, and it's starting to open up here. And actually, if we were to continue down the St. Lawrence in this direction, in about 120 nautical miles, we'd be in Montreal. Which is a really fun place, but so is Quebec City. So let's go back there. Yeah, this is definitely that view that most people only take home on a postcard, right?
Yeah, I mean, you see it. So it looks so big from here, just like boom, right there. Eric, ça l'écoute? Ça l'écoute.
You don't even need to see the size of the boats that come in, just look at the size of the tugs.
Yeah, exactly.
The Enjoy Freedom model is really about maximizing the interior space in the boat. It's early October, but we're up at the Legend headquarters to check out a new pontoon called Enjoy Freedom.
The Enjoy series of pontoons are an affordable step up from the entry-level Splash series. They have modern and colorful styling with textured blue exterior graphics and blue furniture highlights. The upholstery is bright with soft touch fabrics used for black accents so they won't get too hot in the sun.
The Enjoy Freedom model is really about maximizing the interior space in the boat. You've got a lot of room to move around with the two lounges up front set fairly wide apart. And the rear lounger is as far back as it can go, again providing maximum room for the most number of people. But you still get to keep the little sun pad, which is a handy feature if you're just lounging around at anchor.
This uncluttered layout is great for active groups that tend to move around the boat a bit. 3 gates with posi-lock latches provide easy access to the water.
What they've done differently from the cruising model is they've moved the change area to the rear of the boat. And by moving to the rear, underneath the sun pad, it's a lot bigger.
As with most pontoons, there's plenty of storage under the lounge seats and more under the backrests. Separate compartments under each cushion help keep your gear organized and in place.
You do get the smaller console with the Enjoy Freedom, but it does come well equipped. We don't have a speedometer on this boat, so we've kind of added our own. There's a great little cell phone holder. And a lot of boats don't have a spot to stick a cell phone. Even with our acceleration runs and some of our turning maneuvers we made, that hasn't moved at all.
Our test boat has the premium package, which includes a reclining helm chair with armrests, Bluetooth and USB connectivity for the stereo, very cool blue LED interior lights, an oversized aluminum boarding ladder, and a removable tinted windscreen. The Duraweave vinyl flooring is also part of the premium package and is one of my favorite features. It's easy to clean, quick to dry, and provides some cushion underfoot.
One option that might be nice on colder fall days is a little bit bigger windshield. Makes me wonder if there's accessory windshields available for this thing.
Our test boat was powered by the optional Mercury 115 Pro XS CT, which is available when you upgrade to the Sport Performance package. The beefier command thrust gear case has lower ratios to provide more leverage and lift for heavier boats. Perfect for pontoons. Top speed with the 115 was a shade over 35 miles per hour. More importantly, we were able to cruise comfortably in the 20 mile per hour range at only 3,800 RPM.
I don't imagine a lot of people are going to want to option the 115 in the back of a 21-foot two-log pontoon, but probably the 90's enough. But if you're doing any water sports or pulling a skier at all, you might want to keep the 115.
Handling was typical for a pontoon, a little lazy but relatively flat and reassuring. Pointed nose cones with lifting spray fins help keep the ride dry and comfortable. Full-length V-shaped keels keep the boat planted while helping to protect the tubes. Steering effort is moderate without power steering, which is a compromise towards affordability.
This particular version of the Enjoy Freedom doesn't have all the lifting strakes, so the ride comfort's really nice in these smaller waves, but I can feel her leaning a little to the outside in the corners.
Legend pontoons are well built with stainless hardware and a lifetime warranty against rotting. Considering this well-equipped boat starts at $24,999 and is still under 40 grand with the 115 Pro XS, the value is quite exceptional.
It's amazing the power of water, eh? That it can, like, this is thick metal here.
And once it freezes, it's pushing out whatever it wants. It'll crack blocks right in half.
Here we are in Toronto, Ontario, actually nowhere near a lake at the moment, but we're here because Crosstown Engines is here. They've been in business more than 50 years rebuilding car and boat motors. In fact, someone from my marina has their engine here at the moment. So we're gonna go in, check out what they're working on, and hopefully follow along one of their rebuild projects. Hey, Jimmy, how's it going?
Hey, Steve, how are you?
Good.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. I see you got another one. What's going on? What's the problem?
Well, this is a 5-liter Merc Cruiser engine. Unfortunately, has a cracked block from poor winterization.
Classic.
We're going to do a disassembly of all the external components. We're going to prepare another long block assembly and then reassemble everything on there and then put it on the dyno, physically run it, test it, and then give it back to the marina.
So winterization problems, is that the most common? You see that a lot?
We see a lot of that. We see a lot of worn out engines, burning oil, you know.
And when we're talking about a rebuild, it depends on the engine, depends on what we need to do. But safe to say, this is a much more cost-effective way than buying a brand new engine or even a new used engine. Is that right?
Oh, definitely. We keep the cost down because we're using all these external components and we use our own long block assemblies. We machine everything in-house. We keep the cost down for the customer.
All right, well, I'll let you get to it. Do you need any help? No? Okay, see ya. Getting an engine rebuilt is definitely a cost-effective repair for a cracked block because all the other components can be reused. And while Jim starts disassembling the engine, we met with his brother, Lou, to learn about the rebuilding process. Hey, Lou.
Hey, Steve.
How's it
How
going?
are you? Good.
Jimmy says he's good, doesn't need help stripping down, so I'm coming to see what you're doing.
Awesome.
You're all set up here. What's the plan? This is the rebuild?
This is our final assembly here. This is an actual block that's already been machined. We machined the block oversized, micro-honed, we resurfaced the deck area. After the machining goes to a final wash stage, gets all cleaned, and this is our final assembly. We machine the crankshafts in-house. And this is where the connecting rods, the new components, the bearings, the timing chain, the lifters, the oil pump. And being a marine engine, specifically for marine purposes, marine grade components, and from select vendors.
And how many have you done? Like, do you have any idea?
Well, I don't know the exact number, but somewhere in the neighborhood of like 13,000 engines. 13,000, yeah. Whoa. I've done quite a few.
So you got a system?
I got a system.
Down pat.
I've done it a few times, yeah.
I'll let you get to it. Is it cool if I just wander around the shop?
Yeah, just make sure you don't touch anything.
If I break it, I bought it?
That's it.
Lou got busy assembling the engine with all the new and machined parts, making sure everything was well lubricated as it goes together. As I poked around the shop, you could tell he wasn't kidding when he said he had built over 13,000 engines, because he's no stranger to these parts. This looks more like an engine that I'm used to.
Yeah, well, this is the engine we were looking at earlier when I showed you just the block. This is the actual final stage right now before we ship the engines out. This particular engine here, we put it all together. We put it on this machine where we actually test the engine to make sure everything is good.
Let's fire it up.
Okay. As you can see, the engine oil pressure now is built up. How much oil pressure you got there, Steve?
It's right around 50.
Yeah, 50 pounds of oil pressure. We can check to see, make sure the engine's getting lubricated, all the oil's getting to the rocker arms, and then we physically come over here and then we'll check compression on it. We'll put the gauge to it. And we've got 175 pounds of compression. We check all 8 cylinders, and with this we also check to make sure there's no oil leaks coming from the back cam plug, the gallery plug, the rear main seal. There's no oil leaks on the engine. The last thing we want to do is have a customer calling us telling us he's got an oil leak.
Right. So once it passes all this test, then give it back to Jimmy and he starts putting
Mounting
everything back on?
Yeah, he puts everything back onto it, and if the customer wants, we go to the final stage where we actually physically dyno test the engine to measure the horsepower, the torque, and all the rest of the functions of the engine. A lot of customers have a wooden boat where it's very difficult to get the engines in, or they're using large boats with 454s, and they have to get special booms to get them in. So the cost of dyno testing engine as opposed to having a problem down the road, nobody wants to have that. And plus, we can monitor things. Supposing on late model fuel injection, we can monitor an engine if one injector is bad or if there's an issue with the electronics. We can check all of that here before it goes into the boat. And then we just ship it out.
Beauty. Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, Steve, how are you?
Good. So you got it all stripped down. Now we can really see what the problem is. So it's nice and flat here. Should bulge right out. Like, so that crack is in the middle of the bulge, crack at the top. What's this here? They slap some gum on it and say it's fixed?
Somebody was trying to have some fun there, put some JB weld on it, trying to fix it.
I change the Band-Aid every once in a while, but that's fine. It's amazing the power of water, eh? That it can, like, this is thick metal here.
Oh, yeah, it's very thick. And once it freezes, it's pushing out whatever it wants to. It can bend connecting rods. It'll crack blocks right in half.
When we come back, we'll get to test the performance of the newly rebuilt engine on the dyno.
So this is the parameters of the engine the way it's running right now.
Looking good, back together. What are we looking for and what's all hooked up here?
Well, we're all hooked up to the dyno, so this will measure the horsepower, the torque readings.
So when you're testing all these numbers, you have like a sort of cheat sheet because every engine's different.
Well, you have to look up the specs for this particular engine. So this being a 5-liter engine, this particular model, it makes 220 horsepower and about 300 foot-pounds of torque. So that's where we have to be at. So we know when it goes back in the boat, it's exactly where we're supposed to be from factory from Merck.
So we're all good to go? We can fire it up?
Yep, we can do it up. So this is the parameters of the engine the way it's running right now. We can see everything that's going on. Like I said, trouble codes, air-fuel ratios, throttle position sensors, timing. So we know everything's working properly. We got our oil pressure right here. We're about 60 pounds. When the engine warms up, it'll go down and go back to its regular spec. We'll let it warm up a bit, and then we'll make a few pulls.
Perfect. And you have the throttle controls and everything here, so
Yes,
what do you check visually just to double
We
check?
want to see if engine temperature is up, check for timing, any leaks, any binding on the linkages. Make sure everything's good. We can do one pull now. We're operating temperature right now. There you go. We'll bring it back down to idle. Then we just go to the computer screen here and we'll find out how much horsepower it made. This is the first numbers we look at here. This is our torque readings. We know if it makes enough torque,
Right.
we know it's going to carry the horsepower later. So this engine calls for 300 foot-pounds of torque. We're at 301, so we're right where we're supposed to be.
You do a couple readings.
At least 10, 15 tests.
Okay.
And after we do all that, we can check here for any trouble codes, you know? This engine's running good, no codes at all. So she's ready for the customer.
Beauty.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Because I was here.
4 extra horsepower.
Nice job.
That's a Crosstown engine. More horsepower than you need.
Hey. Hey, that should be on the walls.
To me, every marina is beautiful because they're full of boats, and what's more beautiful than that? But this one, right here in the heart of Quebec City, may be the single most beautiful backdrop I have ever seen at any marina.
The marina here in the Port of Quebec is owned and operated by the Quebec Port Authority. We have a total of 415 slips overall to accommodate yachts from 20 feet to mega yachts up to 200 feet long. We do have a little over 350 members that are seasonal at the marina, but we have over 1,000 transient boaters every year.
two unique things I find about your marina. One is the view.
Right?
This is like a postcard. And two is the lock. So why is there a lock to get in here?
The marina was built in an inner basin called the Louise Basin. So you have to go through the lock to get inside it. I don't know if you know that in Quebec there's a tide that goes 4 to 6 meters every day. If there was no lock at the low tide,
Right.
there would be no water from the building here up to the end of the basin. Yeah.
Because this lock is to circumvent the tide, the amount of time it takes depends on where the tide is and how big the lift is. At slack tide, you can sail right through, which we were lucky enough to catch a couple times. The history extends beyond the old city to the waterfront, and not only because of the location of the citadel, the old fort, that was built atop high cliffs along the river. No, the recreational boating world has a rich heritage here as well. The Quebec Yacht Club dates back to 1861 and the first official regatta in the Port of Quebec. The next year, the actual yacht club was formed, electing officers and selecting the name, the Yacht Club de Québec. Directly across the river is the city of Lévis. There's a ferry service that links them, along with those bridges we crossed under earlier, and that's just one of the types of traffic you'll encounter around these parts.
Like you got everything here.
Over 100 cruise ship comes in the season.
100?
Here. Over 100. I think it's 120 or so.
Wow.
You've got everything coming here to St. Lawrence, going to Ontario, or keep going to Montreal. Coast Guard base is just over here.
But you name it, you'll see it here.
You'll see it.
And one of the absolute best, most stunning ways to see it is to go on a night cruise. So we waited until the sun went down and the lights went out to head out once more. As beautiful as the city is during the day, to me, it's even more majestic, all lit up at night. Québec, vous êtes magnifique.